gentlemen, fire up.
Oh my god. I think we did it. Okay. Let me just check everything's so good. Everything is good. Everything is working. Okay. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Reservist podcast where the Navy talks. My name is Lieutenant Holbert, and I'll be your host for this evening. I'm joined by my good friends and colleagues, Lieutenant Hooch, Lieutenant Junior Monty, Ensign Oakley, and Ensign Icarus. And our special guest today is this week Board Gamer, who has...
Curtis.
Hey!
Curtis,
Hello.
are you muted?
Am I muted? I don't think so. I don't think
No,
I'm
no,
muted.
you're good. It's good.
Okay, awesome. Oh, this is brilliant. He's been kind enough to take time out of his busy schedule this week to join us on the podcast, so thank you very much. Board Gamer.
Hey.
I'm not actually Board Gamer, I'm just a selection of words put together.
It's a soundboard. We're clicking furiously.
Yeah.
This week's...
Yes!
Can I just point out that James is now both myself and Oakley?
Wow, this is beautiful.
This is...
Look at this.
Well,
In
look,
the,
this is
live
great.
stream.
Okay, well I need to... Right, okay. This will be sorted out, I promise. Okay. I love technical issues. They're what give the
Flavor.
flavour.
Yeah,
of
the
the
flavor of
podcast.
the day, right?
Indeed.
Jesus Christ.
Speaking of flavor, somebody's got his orange juice there, getting ready to drink it.
Oh hell yeah.
And he
Hey.
didn't wash his fucking hands. You dirty little fucker.
Well, at least I know I don't have to watch what I say.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Richard. What do you say about young men, or should we say just kind of older children who go to the bathroom, don't wash their hands, and go and get fucking food and drink, and just sit there and
I mean,
disgusting.
maybe wear gloves when you go to the toilet and then you just peel them off
Oh,
afterwards.
there we go.
This
Fucking
podcast
disgusting, I'll
this
tell you.
podcast is great already.
You don't wash
Um,
your hands, but you use your keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
Straight after having a piss or a
I
shit.
also eat cookies and biscuits and stuff with my fingers. Directly
I
up.
do that as well. I just don't rub my fecal and urine all over them.
Oh man.
Oh,
Let's
God,
let's get a move on here.
Is
Okay.
painful.
Right. Okay, we're ready here.
Okay,
All right.
give me literally 1 second. These
Time's
webcams will be sorted, I promise.
Oh my god,
This
this
is-
is amazing. I love. People should just come in and out of Skype as well to move them around.
Oh hell yeah, they really should. And Oakley's gone. Oakley has gone. This is
Oh,
brilliant.
Icarus
this is
is now Oakley. Icarus
Hey,
became
I'm
Oakley,
switching
it's
everybody.
great.
Oh my goodness. Jeez. Okay. This is
It's solid.
this is a solid podcast so far. And Rory's gone
You
as well.
wanna get the little knocker and click. Take two.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god, what is... There will be a take 2. I promise. This
Clapperboard.
was...
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God we're not live.
No, yeah. Thank God we're not live. Okay, so Harrison's gone. So that's
Oh,
great.
yeah.
I've got this massive swirling Skype thing, which is saying, hold on while we try to get this call back. So that's brilliant. Oh, Jesus. Okay.
Has Board Gamer died yet?
I don't know. Is he still here?
Yeah, we are live.
I'm here. Hello.
He's still here.
I'm not a
Oh,
soundboard.
good
I
job.
promise.
Okay, brilliant.
I'm so confused. I
It's
thought
the
you were
reason you
sound
can't see my
minute ago.
hand, actually.
Okay. And Harrison's drop. Okay, we're just gonna get on. We'll sort out webcams later.
Move on.
This week's news. 2.2 is currently released to the PTU and is available to those who have received the second wave invites. The 2.2 release includes Flight Ready Saber and the Hangar Ready Jian Katu All, and I think I absolutely butchered that saying.
Everyone does. It's fine.
Yeah. This also includes physicalized EVA mechanics and new FPS animations. In organisation news, we are currently conducting filming for our organisation's advert. If you would like to get involved in this, contact Rear Admiral Moose, who is conducting the filming. If any of you have skills relating to filming or footage editing, feel free to get in contact. Also, we have began formation flying training this week. We will continue doing this Sunday. If any of you are interested in partaking in this training, please contact either myself, Lieutenant Hooch, or Rear Admiral Moose. Now we can talk about what we've been doing this week. This week's shenanigans.
The Skype, the video's broken again on the live stream.
You're joking, please. This is...
No. Well, the screens aren't because, Harrison disappeared, which caused it.
Damn it, Harrison!
So we can blame Harrison. But he's coming back in now, so let's see what happens.
Because I'm adding him.
Don't worry. We'll throw him out of the airlock later.
Oh, shit! Now there
twice.
he goes. Now it's right. Now we're good.
We good now?
Yep. Except Harrison is now Ensign Oakley. And Icarus and Oakley are backwards. No,
That's fine.
everybody's right.
Everyone's fine.
Everybody's right.
Let's.
We're all
Okay,
good.
so this week's
It's-
shenanigans, people.
Okay.
This
All
week's
right.
shenanigans in the cool
It's happening
field.
right now.
Yeah.
Right. Well, because we all suck and CIG don't love any of us, none of us have gotten into the PTU.
Apart from Board Gamer.
Yes.
Board Gamer's in
Gamer
the
has.
PTU.
There is a reason why you're here, Richard.
I see. Please lend us your account to play on the PT.
Yeah, please.
Tell us about the wonders of the 2.2.
So I wouldn't say that Wave 1 was much gameplay to be involved. It's more of a chore than a privilege, the Wave 1 PTU, because there are so many bugs. It's so crashy. It's so many random problems. So as soon as it goes to like Wave 2 or the first few patches, builds for the PTU are out of the way, it gets a lot better.
Awesome.
So the patch we're on at the moment is really great. The party system works. We can now play together as a party without any faff, just straight into Port Olisar. The Sabre flies really well. There was loads of problems with it early on. The reputation system with actual pirates, people becoming pirates and getting people hunting them down, getting awards and stuff, is actually pretty fun, and helps prevent griefing to quite a large extent.
Yeah.
It's pretty enjoyable.
Does it prevent it or does it just organize it?
So it helps prevent griefing, because basically what happens is that if you get to rank 5 as on criminal, which you would get if you rammed lots of people in Port Olisar, just on the landing pads, you then get kicked from the server if you die from any cause.
Oh, wow.
At level 5, you just get kicked from the server. But it also you have to get to rank 5 before you'll get kicked. And it's fun for pirates to get to rank 5 by killing security NPCs, because those ships, they give you criminal ratings. Turning off comm relays will give you a rating. Killing other players will give you a rating. So it's not just anti-grief. It's anti-grief and extra gameplay.
Awesome.
Just, as a side effect, it's anti-grief.
Awesome.
So,
Right, now when people get kicked from that server, is that just that instance or can they join another instance?
They can just join another instance, yeah.
Right, okay, yeah.
They need to split griefing, in my opinion, so that we've got that gameplay for pirates, great, but griefers should be dealt differently. So they can pretty much track, as far as I'm aware, when someone dies in Port Olisar, and at the moment the system will go, well, you get a criminal rating because you rammed someone in Port Olisar. I would like that anyone that does that on their second attempt to do it just gets kicked from the server. If you do it twice in a row, just kick them.
Yeah.
They're trying to grief.
It's good.
So, question. So you said they're incorporating the whole pirate version, the pirate standing into the system, right? Is there a kind of like the good side of that? Like,
Yeah, so-
go ahead.
Yeah, so if you're a pirate, so if you get a criminal rating by even level 1 criminal rating, because it goes all the way up to 5, you see other pirates, whether they be NPCs or players, as friendly, but security and other players will see you as hostile. If you get killed, if you kill a level 5 pirate, you get an energy rifle in your bunk bed at Port Olisar as a
Wow.
reward.
That's pretty cool.
It's cool
Go
to
ahead.
see little rewards now.
So
but
the
it's more
question
distinct.
the question I was driving at was, if you become a pirate, is there a way for you to get that good standing back? Like, do you go and kill other pirates and then you get your good standing back?
Yeah, so in Security Post Korea, in the centre of that security post, there's that big room, and there's a little terminal there, or a big screen terminal. If you press that, after a minute, it reduces your security, your criminal rating by 1. And you can keep on hacking that panel to reduce it down to 5 again. Or you can wait 10 minutes and it will reduce your criminal rating by 1, just by 10 minutes naturally.
So there's potential for griefing there, in a way.
How so?
Well, you could just wait for people to show up to use that terminal and knock down their thing and just completely kill them each time before they get a chance. I don't consider that griefing. That's more, but,
Your station security, you're protecting that from pirates.
Yeah, that works. That works. Yeah.
So, Hooch, what have you been doing this week?
Mostly working.
Work's fun.
Yeah. Lots of work. Not much else. Yeah. Oh, I finished watching Ash vs. the Evil Dead Monday.
Had an interesting ending. No spoilers.
Yeah. Definitely very worth watching, and I can't wait to see if they do another one.
Yes, yeah.
Roy, what have you been up to this week?
Large buckets of bugger all, really.
Well, okay then.
Smoking too much?
Ooh.
Not gonna ask what you smoke, but
Remember, smoking kills.
Gold block, the aristocrat of pipe tobaccos.
Awesome. And Icarus, what have you been doing this week?
Just been a lot of work. Other than that, I have gotten a chance to get on, play some games. I got to go take the Cutlass for a test drive through the Vandal Swarm. That was kind of cool.
Yes.
So I think we'll talk about that later. And we also, earlier this week, got to test out trying to fly in the races. That was also something very, very frustrating.
Yeah.
For those people that have not tried it yet, it's very different than most racing games you've probably seen thus far.
Awesome.
Which game was that? Sorry.
That was the that was the racing in the Arena Commander, actually.
Oh yeah. We did a lot of that last week, didn't we? Yeah.
We did.
And Harrison. No. Okay. So he's not here. Okay. So while we wait for Harrison just to get back, what we're going to do, Board Gamer, if it's okay with you, is we've got some questions that we'd like to ask you.
Yeah, no worries. Go ahead.
Awesome. So, Board Gamer, for the people who may not have heard of you before, who are you? What do you do in the Star Citizen community?
I'm a primarily Star Citizen YouTuber. I try to create any video that I can think of in that particular week about Star Citizen, or theorycraft behind it, or news, or mods, whatever I can think of. Literally, I crowdsource ideas from Twitter and my Patreons and my viewers and stuff, and I'll come up with a large list of videos to do that week. But I also do videos on VR. I'm very much a VR and up to the minute tech buff. So I like the idea of combining those two on my channel. And I'll be getting some random other peripherals and things as well. So I've got a treadmill coming to me. As well, called the Omni Virtualizer.
I've heard of that. That looks amazing. Yeah, that looks
Is that the
so
one where
cool.
you stand in?
Yes, it's that you stand in
Yeah,
it.
it's got the little enclosure
right,
around you
okay.
to stop you falling over.
Yeah.
So
It's
if you don't already look like a tool with the goggles on, you'll definitely look like a tool standing in this thing.
Oh god, yeah, I'm going to be standing in that. I've got loads of different motion controllers that I've quick started ages ago for VR stuff. So this year for me is going to be so heavy into Star Citizen and VR tech stuff.
Oh,
I'm
God.
quite excited.
So,
Yeah.
do you think the Oculus Rift came out at the right price?
No, the Oculus Rift was too expensive, especially in the UK.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Way too expensive. Way too
I would have spent £500 on an Oculus, including VAT, including delivery. But more than that, no. But on the Vive, I'll happily spend 750 quid because it's got more features that I want. And now I've been desensitized to money by the Oculus Rift. It's told me that I need to spend more money to get fun.
Obviously.
Dangerous game we all play. Huh?
Oh hell yeah. So what got you into Star
Oh,
Citizen?
Harris. Can somebody
I
have Harrison? He's not
I
dead anymore.
started
I
Board
got it.
Gamer on YouTube doing Diablo 3 videos, actually.
Yeah.
And random stuff like Titanfall and things. And my mate Chris, who was helping me do the website at the time, went, "Have you seen this game, Star Citizen?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's okay. It looks cool. I'll buy an Aurora." And then 2 weeks later, I decided to change my channel over to it.
Oh, nice.
Because I was like,
Yeah.
I ever since I had seen Eve and World of Warcraft and stuff on the first day of their launch, I had always wanted to get in on doing videos and being part of a community at a high level. And being like, I wish I'd got in on that. And I'd always been like that with lots of stuff in my life, like with Bitcoins and loads of different things. Like, I wish I'd got in on that early on. And this was the first thing I've identified of getting on early that I think is going to genuinely be massive.
Yeah. It's going to be huge. I honestly
Yeah.
cannot wait for this game. It's going to
I
be
would
so
sunk the
good.
money in for an
So-
interest if it did look good.
I'm really, really enjoying the development process as well. This is something that we might not ever get to see again in our lifetimes, or it might become the norm for all games. But we're in active development of a game that our opinions matter,
Yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
insane.
It's crazy. It's mind-boggling because I myself want to get into the games industry. So to see something like this happen, to see how a game is built from the inside out is incredible. It's such an amazing experience to see, and it just gets me excited because we're seeing around the verse and reverse the verse and all this, and it almost feels like we're part of the team. And we do have an impact, as you said. It's amazing. It really
I
is.
think
Well-
being a development subscriber is quite good because then you get the added input with things like when they release a big new ship. They'll usually have a history of its development. Usually fairly
Well, having
Yeah,
a
that
full
is-
open development adds opportunity for people like Richard. I mean, you do
Hello.
a fantastic video every week that I get a lot of my news from because you break it down into something that's bite size instead of having to go all the way through ATV. Yeah, I do watch ATV, but you go all the way through that, all the way through all these other things, and then but on a Saturday morning, I can sit down and watch a 12-minute video, which pretty much breaks everything down for me.
See, I really love the fact you said that as well, because when I started, even with Star Citizen, even up until like a year ago, I was really finding it hard to find my niche and find exactly what I wanted to take my channel. And I realised that if I had a superpower or if I was good at something, is I'm quite good at researching things. And literally, I'm good at reading and assimilating information and then being able to explain it to my mother. So that allows me to be able to explain it to other
If you
people.
can explain it to your parents.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that is. I mean, even I was watching your videos earlier, and you're really cut, simple, easy to understand. It helps.
Yeah, a lot of people throw in a lot of conjecture and their own opinions, and I mean, you do throw in your 2 cents, but you don't go overboard with it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm
It's a lot
trying
more
to
like
go
the old. I think it's a lot more in the style of the Wingman's Hangar that we used to have. It's a bit shorter, a bit more succinct, and it had more useful information in it.
I miss
compared to the
Wingman's
run
Hammer.
first.
I think that's something that it's a shame that
Yeah.
we've lost.
Definitely the best video series we put out.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
So,
So
what
was
would
that
you
the
say
second
are
question?
your likes? This is the third question as well.
Okay.
What are your
Shit.
likes and dislikes in Star Citizen?
Likes and dislikes. Well, I certainly have my gripes with Star Citizen. I mean, occasionally I don't like some of their processes. I feel that CIG occasionally communicate things wrong or incorrectly. That is a lot of the power of hindsight. Like, they do something and then you don't see for a while, like the problems they have with communicating some of the ship specs. So, like, obviously there's the single-seater issue with the Jean Scout at the moment. There was the debacle with is the Sabre a stealth ship, or is it a little bit more stealthy than the other ships we've got at the moment, kind of thing. And a lot of the issues they have with the forums and things could be just handled better if they were able to communicate more. And although we've got an open process, there's just stuff that gets lost in communication in such a large project, and it's just a shame that happens.
It's a shame, but for what they're undertaking, I think it is very, for what they've done and what they're getting done currently, I don't think it's really yes, it's something it's a shame that it's happening, but can you really expect it as a gamer for everything just to come naturally?
No, in fact, I expect these kind of problems.
Right.
And the project would be overly perfect if it didn't have them. I mean, there are going to be issues that occur, and if you ask me a question where you say, what's your good and bad points, I will find something to be annoyed about.
I think we've all been there before.
Yeah.
He who shall not be named is probably an excellent example.
I don't know. That's so you're gonna get lots of trolls and stuff in the community. I really, really, really do not want people to actively seek fights or to defend Star Citizen anyway. What I say to my community is, basically, by being aggressive or being retaliatory in any way, shape or form, even jokingly or defending Star Citizen, you're effectively costing Star Citizen money because of the PR damage that you're doing by retaliating, by making the community look more aggressive.
That's a good point.
And it's really annoying because we've got so many people in the Star Citizen community that want to defend it because they will look at a troll conversation logically.
Yeah.
And a troll is there just to get you to bite, just to get some form of response out of you. And even I'm guilty of it as well. Sometimes I'm like, must reply, you are a dick.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's annoying that some people just want to watch the world burn. But for them, I suppose, that's fun.
Can't say any more than that, I guess, can you?
But, I mean, so I'm very much an economy player, and the stuff they're talking about with the economy is so exciting to me. This kind of massive scaled game where everything is combined together with first-person water cruise ships. Something I do on the edge of the galaxy has a ripple effect across the server to the other end of the galaxy, potentially. And you can all make your money, and all your friends can make their money doing whatever role they want to do, or all of it. And we've never had a combined genre game like this. Whatever, really. I mean, we've seen games that have tried to do similar, and we've seen games like Eve that do a bit of everything, but they don't have the first-person shooterness. And we've seen like Elite, which is awesome, but it just doesn't have enough.
Eve definitely lacked that that connection with your character.
Yeah,
that was the problem. I played it for 6 years, and that was always my issue with it. When they said they were going to get into walking in stations and adding your character, I thought that was a really good idea, but they never pulled it off.
And for me, like Eve lacks the speed and requires massive organisation to have fun. Whereas I want something where I can control the pace of my experience. And so I can go, I want to do fast-paced action now. Boom, I can play Arena Commander, or I can go and do dogfighting missions. Or now I want to do some first-person shooter. Now I just want to do economy stuff and mine, chill out over a weekend.
Yeah.
And as a game, that just really appeals to me.
That's cool. Okay, so...
Monty?
Yeah, Monty, next question.
Yes, next question. What ships do you currently possess in your fleet? And are there any others you're planning on getting?
The only one I'm planning on getting now, unless something magical comes out, is probably the Polaris Corvette.
I thought you'd say that.
Yeah, that's quite exciting, isn't it?
So it's definitely exciting. It needs to be an 8 out of 10 in my head on my like perfect ship scale to warrant buying it now. Because I wanted it to be a Drake Corvette. I had it in my head what I wanted the Corvette to be. But now they've gone for RSI, and I was like, it's kind of expected, but so it has to be really, really good. I don't really want big ships as well because they're too much effort to run in my. look at them as liabilities. They're going to be expensive. You're going to need to be organised. I don't want to have to be that organised when I play.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just looking for a relaxing weekend of some solo flying.
Yeah, or just like one other person, just flying around with a mate or something. I just don't want to have to run a crew of 20 people, even if they're NPCs. It's still confusing and complicated, and that ship's going to cost you money, and so you have to be making money with it. And then there's the risk-reward thing, and it's complicated.
Hear that? So if I get bored, I grab one of the ensigns, shove him in my turret, and talk at him as I fly around.
But ship-wise at the moment, other than like starter packages, so I've got like a couple of Auroras as starter packages. I've got an Endeavour, an Orion,
Nice little ship.
Sabre, a something else. What else do I have? Look at the account.
Starfarer?
Retaliator?
I've got a Starfarer and a Retaliator, but they're being changed into something else. I've got the upgrades for them already.
Okay.
Redeemer?
They're getting changed into a Reclaimer and a Carrot.
We got a question actually just popped up on the thing. Board Gamer UK, are you not afraid that you won't be able to be a serious miner hauler without having an org behind you? You need people manning your ship stations. You need fighters to cover you. You may find yourself limited in what solo play you will be able to do. This is from Xeon Anoxia.
Zeus Anoxia. Oh yeah, cool.
Sorry, Zeus Anoxia. Sorry, my bad.
Just because you haven't got an org behind you, it doesn't mean you can't work with other players and work with orgs.
Yeah.
You can organise stuff. You can use NPCs to help you do a lot of the stuff. You don't have to do large-scale mining either. There's going to be dense asteroid fields, for example, that require smaller craft to get into the middle of. You're not going to be able to bring an Orion all the way into the middle of a dense asteroid field. You're only going to be able to mine the asteroids on the outer edge, as it were, and that sort of stuff. And there's loads of like processes that you could go through as well with mining. Like you need to locate the field to start with, so you could use that with an Endeavour or a 315 P or something. Then you need to, I don't know, you might need to organise a large-scale operation. You might be able to do it solo, but there's going to be lots of different processes, and there's going to be lots of different ways to do this stuff. I do actually have an org I am part of, though. It's just I'm not planning to do too much with them constantly.
Okay. Yeah, just in response to that question as well, I mean, you're going to have people that are going to want to do mining and they're not part of organisations. I mean, as you said, sometimes you're just going to want to jump on for an evening and just go mining. And I mean, there are going to be ships which allow you to do mining, which are reasonably small. I mean, you've got the big mining ships like your Reclaimer.
There was that concept sale a while ago for, is it called the Turtle or something of the sort? It's supposed to be a one-man mining vessel.
I think they've...
Terrapin. I think it was the Terrapin.
Terrapin,
yeah.
And I don't think it made the grade, as it were. They voted on them, and I think it was the Reliant one in that phase.
Yeah,
I
I think that was it.
Yeah.
And it was we voted for a 2-seater alien ship.
Yeah.
Whether it will still have 2 seats is debatable.
Well, the Giant, didn't that originally...
It's been burned.
Yeah, the salt is real. Didn't the Giant Carter all originally have 2 seats or something like that, and they removed it?
That's what he was referring to.
Right, okay. I finally got it now. Okay, next question. What role are you planning on playing in the verse, mainly, I guess?
So I will be doing a little bit of everything, especially the first few months, just so I can learn all the game mechanics. I like mining and doing economy-based things, so a lot of that. It's really hard to tell with that sort of thing, because it might be better to sell information about where mining zones are. It might be better to mine them yourself. It might be better to organise players to go and do it. There's 1,000 billion different things you can do in a sandboxy kind of game like this.
Space Bum.
I'll be drinking in the bar mostly.
Yeah, just
So
you don't even fly a ship. You just get people to take you places.
Yeah.
That's why the UENR has 890s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
so then
I mean,
I guess the question to
from-
go along with what you're talking about there. Sorry, I'm not trying to. Along with that question, you're answering about it being an economic player. How do you think the economy is going to be at the beginning of the game?
so I mean, well, I don't really know. I think it will be vigorously tested before the game goes live, and CIG will have the ability to stabilize the economy anytime they want, really, because they literally can control the economy to how they want. And there's going to be 9 NPCs to every 1 player, so players aren't going to have that much of an impact compared to what they would in an Eve, which is entirely player led.
Okay.
The inflation is real.
Yeah, so that could all be controlled by CIG. They can step in and just change numbers if they need to.
So Zeus Anoxia reckons you're an undercover pirate.
I am really against piracy.
Yes.
So you're an undercover pirate.
No, I'm really. I would, however. So my corporation, Nomad Black, is supposed to be roleplay in the fact that we protect the fringe worlds, and we're not a massive fan of the UEE because we feel like we've been abandoned by them,
Right. Okay.
and they're more concentrating on their core systems. So we go around like protecting the fringe worlds. We'd happily use pirates to protect stuff if we had to. We'd pay pirates to go and protect a settlement or to kill some aliens.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Slaughter the innocent, that kind of stuff.
No slaughtering of the innocent.
Well,
Almost got under the
Oh,
well,
okay.
you got to remember, Harrison. Once they're dead, you can retroactively make them out to be evil.
Oh, I see. Is that how it works?
It works for every government on Earth.
Yeah, well,
But yeah, I mean, would your organization be open for like the UENR working with us?
what do you mean?
Well, we're Navy Reserve,
Mhm.
so if we were coming out there and you needed help, you'd have no problem working with us.
We're shamelessly
no,
plugging.
Not at,
Yeah.
literally not at all. I
Yeah.
mean, we'd work with the UEE. We don't trust them. The idea is that some of the
I
fringe
wouldn't
worlds,
trust us either.
No,
No.
not at all.
as
We're
we can
dodgy
see,
bastards.
they get abandoned by the UEE and then the Vandal attack them,
Yeah.
and then they come in and they jump in when everyone's dead.
Yeah.
So very much influenced by Operation Pitchfork.
Yeah. Oh, that's going to be incredible as well.
Yeah.
Operation
Yeah,
Pitchfork,
so
that's gonna
I'm
be so
I'm
good.
really excited about that.
Yeah.
The lore for that.
I still need to sign up for that.
Mm.
Right. So here we go. If you could have one thing in the game now, what would it be?
I get asked this question quite often, and it changes from week to week. I've got quite an
Ah,
erratic mind. At the moment, I'd quite like to walk around the Idris myself.
Yeah.
Yes, another man with the bright thoughts in his head.
oh, here we go.
Yeah.
I think.
Personally, I just like to own a reclaimer.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many cool. I mean, I want cargo. I want shopping. I want persistence. Is
Yeah.
something I desperately want. Just being able to log off the server and log back on, in place, and be able to do stuff that stays on the server would be amazing. Boarding will be amazing as well. I mean, that's.
Oh,
That's
yes.
that's something we've talked a lot ourselves about, is how that's going to work.
I've already got my crossbow ready.
The answer I give most is planetary landing and exploration, just because it's so beautiful at the moment.
Mm.
I was looking at some of the footage that people were putting out of 2.2, and Yella, the
Oh.
last couple of iterations, that
Pretty.
looked awesome. From
It's
what
so
I'm
pretty
seeing.
now.
Mhm.
It's yeah. They've got the shadow. They've got the shaders and the texture and the shadows and the lighting in yellow now, just beautiful. The asteroids don't look like they're made of water anymore, and yellow looks fantastic. And the asteroids
yeah.
look like mini yellows. They've got the same level of detail. Oh, it's so good.
Mm.
Is
So
is
good.
anybody sure, or is anybody absolutely positive you can't land on Yella
Yes,
because
I'm
that
sure.
does look that looks so well done, if you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
It still gives you the warning, and then you still burn up.
Yeah.
oh,
Soon, TM. Soon.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually had to try that myself, and I burned up.
All right. So next question, Icarus.
So another one of the questions is: you produce a lot of videos during each week. Where do you find time to play the game, especially when you're editing this footage and then you're producing the videos, uploading them to YouTube? So where do you find that extra time to play?
So I physically force myself to play at least 1 hour a day of Star Citizen,
Oh, really?
not recorded, just so I can keep my relative skill up. Because
So it's kind of like a chore then.
not a chore. It's just that because I do YouTube basically full time. I kind of just lounge in my pants at my house a lot of the time, and you honestly, if you're not keeping to a schedule of something, you find stuff to distract yourself. I'll watch anime. I'll write scripts for projects I'm never going to do.
Yeah.
I'll fantasize about doing videos and stuff in the future that I'm like so far in the future, and I'll work out like if I save this much money, I could go to CitizenCon in October and stuff like that. You find things to distract yourself. Even just reading the Reddits and stuff. So I have a schedule, and it'll be wake up, breakfast, hour of Star Citizen, complete script for the day, edit video, and then it'll be anime in pants, Reddit.
That sounds like an amazing day. I don't know about you, but
I wish I could do
That
that.
fills my
Yeah.
day with joy just hearing about that.
anime in pants.
It's
The
funny
way
'cause
it
it's
was meant
true.
to be played.
But sometimes, sometimes I'll be working a good 16-hour day.
Yeah.
Because something would have gone wrong, or I'm working on like a tutorial or something,
Yeah,
and
gosh.
I'm not very good at pacing myself time-wise. Like I'll be like, I'll be able to do that in 4 hours. Like 12 hours later, I'm halfway through. Fuck
Yeah.
this.
Uh-huh. God, yes.
I do have to work on the weekends as well, which is lame. But I mean, it is a lovely job because I'm doing something I enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it must be amazing. So.
Anyone can kind of do it. You just find your niche. But Star Citizen was everyone can get in early at the moment. You can get in early. You can make your own content. You can be a streamer. You can be a YouTuber. You can be a writer. You can do your own slash fiction. Whatever you want to do at the moment, because people are getting in early.
Yeah.
It definitely sounds like you enjoy it though, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
So
I do.
that's one of the important things.
It's a lot to do with it is the community, and I love the idea of the game, but I mean a lot of the idea of the game is more fantasy based at the moment because we're just assuming what it's all going to be like. The community, I really enjoy being part of. I like the conflicts that we have when people are being reasonable about stuff, but like I don't like this and I don't like that, and they talk about it. I love that kind of argument. I love people getting really passionate about thrusters not working properly, or my ship's been. Why have you done this to my ship? And when people articulate those problems and issues and love certain bits of the game, hate other bits. I love that. I really like that kind of development process, and the fact that people all can have their opinions and mostly don't get attacked. I mean, obviously trolls and obviously internet, small percentage will be dicks, but by and by we've got quite a solid community, a large percentage. The mass majority are absolutely bloody awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think out of all the gaming communities I've been in, I think Star Citizen is probably the best. But that's maybe because I am a little biased, but generally, I've been the most involved in the Star Citizen community.
I think this is the first gaming community I've ever been this super involved with ever.
Yeah.
I felt welcomed, and I felt like I could be part of it. And there's constantly more for me to get involved with.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
I've played a lot of different MMOs, and this is the first game, and I agree, it's the first game where I've actually felt that people aren't there just to criticize you constantly for how you've played and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
does
more to help
wait a
you
minute.
get better.
Does Animal Crossing classify as an MMO?
Oh my
Yeah,
god, I used to play
Parasite.
so much Animal Crossing. That's like 9 years ago.
432 hours.
It was okay.
I find that a lot of other gaming communities, games in general, just breed either being exclusive or elitist, or cliquey. So with like World of Warcraft, normally you'd find a guild and you just stay with them. There'd be very little outside interaction with anyone else other than your guild.
Yeah.
And with other games, it can be quite elitist, where you're like, leave me alone, noob, or I only play with these few friends.
Yeah.
With Star Citizen, I mean, you've got Test, you've got Bad News Gaming, you've got Redacted, you've got all these groups that all work with each other, and aren't super elitist, and that's what I really want in the community. And I'm kind of glad that that's happening in Star Citizen.
People who are in an organization aren't just looking at themselves. They're going, hey, you guys want to work with us on this, to other organizations and stuff. Which, you don't see that.
Iron Industries. Just the plug-in for Iron Traz there. You owe me, man.
Yeah.
You owe me.
I mean, so they've been like INN and the Facebook group, the Iron Trousers Facebook group and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're all beautiful examples of people getting together to make content, but they're not elitist with that content. They do involve other people with it. They interview other people. They interview other people that are content providers. They get them involved in stuff like that, and I really, really like that. I want that kind of inclusive community, because especially when, as I said, this is one of the projects that I've seen that I got in early, and I'm glad that I'm being able to make content for.
Yeah.
There are going to be a lot of big streamers and big YouTubers that come in that care about money. They'll be like, Star Citizen's getting views, better move on to Star Citizen. They don't have the same love of the game that's been built up over the time, or knowledge. And that's the reason why it's good for the people that helped start it to be friendly with each other and to work together. Because otherwise, it's going to get swarmed with, well, people that don't enjoy the game so much, that are just there possibly for the money. That's my fear, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
We have a question from Zeus again. We all know that Line of Defense is a superior product, but
God.
Star Citizen, Line of Defense, or Elite Dangerous, and I would have to say, what's the other one?
Angels Fall First. That
No,
new one.
not that one. The one.
Oh, the procedural one.
Yeah, procedural generated one that
Oh,
keeps getting backed up.
Yeah.
If you could only have one, what would you have?
But it would blatantly be Star Citizen, wouldn't it? I mean, they're not even...
Nearly caught as the kind of defence, man.
Because
Really.
I can have the others. I mean, I have Elite Dangerous, but I've only played it for half an hour, because it doesn't have the kind of action that I want. Although saying that, the arena probably would get played a bit by me. I'm trying to think of this.
It's a rig dancer.
There's that game Dreadnought, which I'm looking at, which I think might be quite fun. I may or may not have played it in alpha, and may or may not be under a non-disclosure agreement.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It may or may not be good.
Wait,
No
we
Man's
wouldn't ask
Sky.
any other.
Oh, No Man's Sky. So
yeah.
That's the
for
one I was
me,
trying to remember.
that's Grand Theft Auto crossed with Star Citizen, but more simple. Or maybe a little bit of Spore in there as well.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be high action, explore, have a look. Oh, I've angered some aliens on the planet, run away. I think it's going to be very much like that.
Well, that's not very Grand Theft Auto. You don't run away. You go over, you mug them, and take their wallet.
Well, I think that's also going to be a possibility that you could just merge it.
Just mug those poor aliens. Yeah.
What did they ever do to you?
Running down aliens in a spaceship.
I'll tell you what they did to me. They're made of delicious meat.
Yes.
Oh,
Bacon.
Bacon.
Space bacon.
Space bacon. Space bacon.
I think another game in that
Reminds me of
similar
that,
vein would be Fractured Space.
Reminds me of that Combine video we were watching.
So, yeah, I quite enjoyed Fractured Space, actually, and it's got quite good over the last few months. It keeps on getting improvements. There's another couple of good space games that are coming out, which I can't remember the names of. But actually, The Division is something that not a space game. That's the only other game I'm really excited about this year, other than Star Citizen at the moment.
I played the beta for that on the PlayStation 4, and it was quite enjoyable actually. Although I think you definitely need to be in a group of friends to like properly enjoy it. But yeah, it was enjoyable. I mean, it's a I like the little details that they put in, so you can still close the car door, like the thing that we saw from E3.
With bullets.
With bullets, which is the most important thing.
Just like I closed my car door.
In real life, obviously, yeah. I actually Falcon Punch my door closed, so yeah.
Yeah. Full wind up as well. Falcon
Punch! Awesome. So next question, Monty.
Yes. Related to action, I suppose. Would you say you have a greater interest in the sort of small-scale dogfights between a couple of fighters in an asteroid field, or are you, in combat terms, would you be more interested in the exchange of guns between large fleets of capital ships?
Oh my god, large fleets of capital ships, yeah.
Oh.
I mean, I'm very much... I've got relatively good reactions, and I'm good at making a personal decision, but I wouldn't be able to communicate quick decisions to teammates. If I've got time to think in like a larger scale battle, that's when I enjoy myself. I'm able to call people, someone go there, repair that, move around there, flank, retreat. I'm much better at seeing a larger picture and having a little bit more time to think about it. Whereas the dogfighting stuff, you could just be killed, bam, like that, if you're unlucky.
Yeah.
It's very true.
That's really annoying. It's a really annoying feeling if you're a good dogfighter. You're like, oh.
Damn. I like to every now and then take a look at that GIF of the Bengal firing all its guns, and just be like, oh yeah.
I want to see that Javelin destroyer firing all of its guns, and the railgun on the Idris as well. Idris M. I see that.
I really want to see that.
Oh,
The day she
I can't
flies,
wait
I'll
to-
be.
I can't wait to fire a broadside off my Idris. That's one thing I am definitely looking forward to.
Mm-hmm.
Just seeing what sort of damage you can do to some poor innocent redeemer with
I mean,
that.
we've
Oh
only
my
really
god, here
seen-
we go.
We've only really seen like constellations explode, which are relatively small.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
some of
Ooh,
these
yes.
weapons that fire giant torpedoes into capital ships, these explosions are going to be insane.
Oh yeah.
I believe they were.
It's going to
I
be
believe
so
they were talking
impressive.
about the decompression of the area when something like that happens and you have a breach. That's going to be something pretty cool.
Mm.
Oh,
Um,
they need to balance the coolness with fun though. It's great having it's great having the ability to procedurally land on planets. It's great being able to do that on populated planets, and it's great being able to have all these cool effects going off. But like when landing, if you have to take 10 minutes or 5 minutes landing on a populated planet every time you want to trade, that might get annoying after a while.
yeah. Mm.
Probably.
By after a while, you mean
Automated
after
stuff.
about 2 days of playing it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm planning to play it solidly, so I'll be like, if I could cut down this in half, I'd save 2 hours a day.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's got a couple of comments here. The first one's going back to the different games. Zeus Mass Effect is coming out this year, hopefully, and it will want to talk with you.
So I was really disappointed with Mass Effect 3.
Right.
I will obviously be playing Mass Effect. Is it Andromeda?
Yes, that's what it's. Well, not officially, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's going to be called.
I'll play that because I do have love in my heart for the Mass Effect series.
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2 is such a good game. Oh, such a good
Okay.
game.
And he also asks, I want to see a Retaliator fire a huge torp in the hangar bay of an Idris or Bengal and watch the mayhem of secondary explosions.
Ooh.
Obviously, I want to see the huge torp from the Javelin Destroyer do the same thing.
Oh my god, yes. Oh my
Like
god,
6
yes.
torpedoes or something.
Oh, it's just. I
mean-
think
It looks going to be nasty.
it's going to be good. I mean, even now, I go into my Retaliator and I kind of swoon over my torpedoes. I have a moment with them. I'm like, you will. I promise one day. But I tell you what, the Javelin torpedoes, just pure awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing.
Oh, it will definitely be.
Apparently, your answer on the Mass Effect question didn't go down very well. Apparently, it's unsub, unfollow, and what traitor?
Seth, we've lost a viewer already. Where do you see the future of Star Citizen heading?
You stole my question.
I'm sorry, dude.
Well, I don't really know. I mean, I see that Squadron 42 is going to be released in Q4 of this year, most likely. I think it's going to be one of the largest games, if not the largest game of our time, quite possibly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that is anyway. It's only going to be a game that I play a lot. I mean, I don't really know, and that's kind of the joy of it. Where I'm involved in a process that I'm not entirely sure what the outcome's going to be, but I know that I'm part of it and can influence it. So I don't really know yet. I mean, we can certainly see now that in the alpha, that was supposed to be just a test bed for stuff, even Arena Commander, just a test bed for mechanics and gathering data and helping get balance and stuff. It's not supposed to really have much gameplay, but the mini PU as it is at the moment is building up real gameplay. People are finding ways to play that for hours and hours and hours for prolonged gameplay experiences and find their own things to do in the verse. Even now, I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm excited to see where it goes.
Am I wrong? So I might be wrong in thinking this, but where we are now, the PU, we are essentially playing Star Citizen now, aren't we? I mean, this is obviously it's nowhere near
Bare
the
bones.
finish. It's
Yeah.
but
very
we
small
are
scale.
we are essentially playing Star Citizen. I don't know how you feel about that, but
I'd say we're playing an empty shell of Star Citizen. I mean, there's
Yeah.
none of the core mechanics are there other than you can fire guns. So there's no mining, there's no economy. So we're in the skeleton of Star Citizen.
yeah.
I do like how Icarus's head he seems to be
my bad.
going down.
Just kind of relaxing back here as I'm kind of listening, you know.
Okay,
I'm a very
I have a
relaxed
quick
person.
question. Redacted seems like a lot of fun. How is it to work with such good guys?
Yeah, I mean they're good chaps. Admittedly, it's a lot of effort in Redacted. Working with groups of people is hard because you need to align stuff. I quite enjoy being solo, to be brutally honest.
Yeah.
Because I like to be able to freely move around and work with people whenever. Schedules and stuff, they're necessary to me, but I hate them.
Yeah.
And Twerk and Saurus are amazing people to work with. Grey-headed Gamers joined us now as well. They're amazing. He's
amazing. Yeah.
We've got Super Mac Brothers as well. They've all been amazing people to work with. I don't see them as a content group though.
Right.
So for me, Redacted is much more content providers sharing ideas than an actual group like some of the other peeps are.
Yeah.
Like INN is very much more of a, this is what INN does. They have a charter basically.
Yeah.
Whereas we're content providers that are banding together to make great content to work together, and that might change. We might get loads more in the future.
Yeah.
But it feels different. It feels.
I this is probably a bit cheesy and sucking up, but I would probably say that actually Redacted as a whole and you guys are actually perhaps my favourite content providers and that kind of stuff.
I really enjoy Test as well. I mean, I like INN. I like Bad News Gaming in for an entertainment point of view, rather than news point of view. I mean, there's quite a few quite good ones. I mean, the Noobify is relatively new as well, and I really like his work. I really like no bullshit, really quick stuff.
Yeah.
That's one of the tenets I wanted on my channel, and yes, I really appreciate stuff like that.
I'm going to
like
be
you guys do a good
controversial
job,
and plug
so.
the Mighty Jingles.
Mighty Jingles is good, although I think he's not so much. He's made a couple of videos on Star Citizen, but apart from that, think
Definitely not
that's
a regular content producer.
Okay.
So I've got the next
Next
question
question.
here.
All right, Igor's got the next question.
So this is for Monty's benefit. Sorry.
James
Where
is
would you
going to-
personally rank the Redeemer gunship on the table of the ships in the game? I'm just gonna leave it wide open, let you take it.
A 7. I don't know what the table of the ships in the game is.
Well, by that I mean like ships, all of the ships. I mean, every single one of the ships that's there. How do you feel about the gun? How do you feel about the Redeemer gunship? How do you think it will?
It's
above
definitely
average
in
or brilliant.
It's definitely in the top 5 dropships.
Yeah.
Two of them.
That's a good way out of it. Yeah.
That was good.
Either a poor lane, which is sensible, or it's
So
decent and
I have issues
getting
with the
a little
Redeemer.
bit-
There are other ships.
Oh, there we go. You
Yes.
got a friend. There you go.
There are other ships that fulfill its role,
and
and don't have a massive blind spot on the back.
Yeah.
and they
Is
don't
that
have
blind
cut
spot on the
tracks.
back? The only way you're going to be able to deal with stuff is by opening the cargo bay and then having all of the Marines shoot out, which
But
is
they got
is
those rail
viable.
guns now,
Yeah,
haven't
they
they?
can have all rail guns or grenades. I'm just
Yeah.
like the idea of chucking grenades out the back.
Oh my god, yeah.
Experience.
Yeah, they won't
Experience.
drop either.
Yeah.
So on the concept of the blind spots, have you gotten a chance to drive the Freelancer? That's kind of a side question. I just wanted to ask because you brought up blind spots.
Yes, I really like the Freelancer. It's agile enough that the blind spot doesn't matter too much. I mean, it might matter if you're fighting like a Cartual or something really agile. But at the moment, nothing's so agile that will stay on your tail forever.
That's pretty much
Especially-
sums that up pretty well.
Especially with cruise mode. I mean, so a lot of the ships with when we're actually playing in the persistent universe, as long as you go into cruise, you can joust, even in the larger ships. It might not be the best idea, but it's better than having something constantly stuck to your tail.
Yeah, I personally, when I have a Freelancer, that's one of the ships I have, but I've not been liking the cockpit view so much,
Oh,
and it's hard
God.
to, you know what I'm
you
talking about.
freelancer owners.
I'm
All you
not
ever
saying
complain
anything.
about
I'm gonna
is
keep
the,
it. I'm gonna keep it. I'm just saying that's the one thing I don't like about it. Other than that, it's a great ship. I love that it's got the turret in the back. You've got the side turrets, and they work phenomenally. I just think
Moon
that
on a stick.
Right. I'm
You
just gonna
guys
shut
want
up.
the moon on a stick. No,
I
I'm joking
remember
with you. I'm
the
joking
early
with you.
days
Go ahead.
of the Star Citizen forums. It was set ablaze with the freelancer cockpit. Every other thread was, I can't see properly. Somebody accidentally left a construction site in the window.
Kind of reminds me of Monty Python and the Holy Grail. There, the voice coming out.
Okay, next question. Let's move
Hang
on
on,
quickly.
just 1 second. We got a couple of things. Zeus, what would you want to see improve in Redacted? I don't know about that one.
Yeah, that's right.
Just
So
interesting.
I was pretty lucky to get into Redacted in the way that I did. So Saurus basically said, "Oh, I want to do a podcast. I'm doing this Redacted podcast. Do you want to be part of it?" I did it with Twerk, and I was like, "Yes." And then I explained to him that I was going to do my own board gamer brand for a news site. And I went, actually, what about if we expand the Redacted brand to do news, to do lots of other stuff, and get lots of content creators together as a community? And he went, awesome, yeah, I'm happy to use that name. I was like, but no one, the idea of Redacted is no one's really in charge. No, everyone has a voice. No one's going to say, no, we're doing it like this. Everyone has a voice.
It's more of a
So-
collective then, which is
Yeah.
I will say from my work experience, that's a very difficult thing to do at times. But it seems like you guys have been doing a really good job of it.
We say it's a collective. It's mainly me, Twerk, and Saurus will all talk together, but none of us will just run with an idea. We talk with each other about it, and we try to talk with the other content providers about it.
Yeah.
And that's really important to me because you don't want... Everyone makes mistakes, and people will have a very different idea of what's good for their channels. You're always going to be biased towards your own stuff, your own content, and with working together as a group, everyone does better out of it rather than just one person. But improve-wise, I would want to get friendlier with the other groups as much as possible. I want to work more with Test, with Bad News Gaming, with INN. And sometimes with those groups, it can be seen that you're competing with them. Yeah. It's like, oh, you're competing for Star Citizen views. You're competing for love on the Reddit, for upvotes, for likes on your videos. You're really not. And this is something I really want to get through to people. With content providers that are producing Star Citizen content at the moment, the more there's not a finite number of views. People will watch your channels and everyone else's, and probably enjoy everyone's content.
Yeah.
It's something that we all need to get used to working together and not feeling jealous of each other's abilities. Because some of us are going to be great at doing one thing and not the other. And I really just want people to work together more. And some people are stubborn and some people are arrogant. And I can be really erratic is my issue. Occasionally I'm just like, I will say something and I kind of don't mean it.
Go on, Board Gamer, let it all out. Go on.
We just have another comment on the Lancer as well. This is from Zeus as well. Freelancer is a truck. It has a truck cockpit. If CIG changes the cockpit, there will be rioting in the streets. Hands off my Lancer.
Yeah. Anytime there's a change, people don't like change now.
Yep.
They expect.
We fear change.
They expect.
Fear change.
That's the human condition. In a
Well,
nutshell,
talking about the human condition. Talking about the human condition. Do you think Harrison has hit puberty yet?
Oh
my god.
Ow.
Oh my god.
Shots fired. It was in the script.
I didn't think that was going out. I was bleeding. This is John.
All bets are off.
All right, come on,
good.
Board Gamer. Show me what you got.
What's going on?
I can't
Just wondering,
believe.
do you think that Harrison has entered puberty yet?
That's not a question you ask.
It's quite a creepy, sexy question, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it was that, or what would you say is your favorite variety of parasitic worm?
Oh.
And
There's
if
so
you
many
say
to choose
Harrison-
from. I don't know how. I'm not informed enough to make a decision on either.
Board, can I just
Well,
say
I can inform you if you want to be informed.
this is not what usually happens. Okay.
Well, yeah, it is.
Just
Yeah, it is.
That's just full on lie.
It's okay.
Okay.
My superpower is research. Come back to me in a minute.
Hello.
Next thing you know, he's gonna be knocking on Harrison's door to get a good look.
Oh, blimey. All right, no, we're moving on.
Okay, yeah,
we're
all right,
moving
so we got
on.
a couple more questions, and that's what.
Oakley, you
what
have
about
the
you?
next question.
Okay, I think I've got the next one. How much do you actually know about the UEENR, the Naval Reserves, as such? Because you're obviously quite well informed about the UEE, but how much do you actually know about us?
Oh, extremely little.
Are we that dark and mysterious horse in the corner?
There's quite a few organisations in my head, and I have a hard time, kind of drawing information out without them in front of my face. Really, it's I wouldn't know too much about the Naval Reserves, to be brutally honest.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I mean, it's not as if we're something like Imperium or LAMP, so that's fair enough. I mean, so
basically, what we are is we're just a milsim, kind of like milsim organization, reservist basically for the UE Navy. We go around, pirates, vandal, whatever, helping. We can get contracted on to help people move their loads, protect it. Space marshals on flights, all that sort of stuff. We just kind of go around doing that.
So you do similar stuff to what my org does, but you do it under the term Navy Reserves.
Yeah, we're very loyal to the Empire, if that makes sense. So we're pretty much the UEE, but
let me ask you a question then: Terror or Earth?
Earth.
Oh.
Yeah. I think.
Well, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna say Earth, but yeah, there is a Terra element there.
There's
as well.
oh blimey! It's this is gonna be a political war
I
within.
am with Hooch a little bit, I think, because I am very fond of Earth.
Oh, and to your other questions, no and blood flukes.
No.
Yes.
Oh my god.
It's
I'm
official.
gonna buy this man a drink.
Yeah.
Well, we've got the finest Con Davies cider available in the UK now.
Harrison's died apparently.
Yep.
So
Yep, he's no longer there.
anyway, it's time to move on to the next part of the show, which is the ship of the week.
Wow.
Hey, look, he came back too.
He came back. Okay, this week's ship of the week is the Cutlass series. Remember that the current ship of the week relies on data from stat sheets on the Robert Space Industries site, which is not 100% accurate, so take everything we say here with a pinch of salt. Now, we do know that the Cutlass series has 3 ships in it at the moment, 3 variants, sorry. That's the blue, the black, and the red. All of them are pretty much created for different purposes. However, Cutlass is pretty much a non... it's kind of seen, because there is some controversy around it, because it's kind of seen as the pirates' ship, isn't it?
I think a lot of people would like to fancy it as a pirate ship. I think they're going to be disappointed in some aspects.
It's been changed a lot recently in what its actual role is, because there was a lot of confusion exactly what a Cutlass Black was supposed to do. Which is why we need to see that the Drake Buccaneer now has to come out.
Yeah.
But
What would you say you're expecting from the Buccaneer?
I'm expecting a saber that I can fix with a screwdriver.
So Russian-built saber.
Yeah, pretty much. That's pretty accurate to what I think.
Yeah.
It's going to be a combat ship. It's not going to be the most hardy. It's not going to be the weakest ship, but it's going to do what it says on the tin. It's just going to be a combat one-seater, probably no cargo bay or a tiny amount of cargo, and it's going to be agile. Well, maybe fast and not agile, or agile and not fast, or maybe a little bit of both, but not.
Go ahead, finish.
I also think they're going to be able to attach to caterpillars, like lots of them.
just have a conga line of caterpillars.
I literally think that I think that you'll have one caterpillar, and like you could probably have like 6 more. They were originally going to be called the Monarch, weren't they? But the Buccaneer.
Yeah.
I think they work together and they kind of fly out like butterflies. Hence why they were going to call them the Monarchs.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty good.
Think.
Okay.
So you have the 3 variants of the Cutlass as it is right now. You have the blue, which is the police variant, the black, which is supposed to be the militia pirate / pirate variant, and the red, which is a search and rescue variant.
Obviously, we don't actually. Are there police in the game? I mean, I guess you could say Crusader Industries.
Yeah,
No, you also have the advocacy.
you have that's it, yeah, because they use the M50 quite a lot.
Also the Avenger.
On the side of that, how strict are they going to be? Because I know in the
Depends.
2.2 or whatever it's called, the alpha thingy that's just come out, they're fairly strict. You got 1 bar and you're screwed. Like,
I don't know,
So are
because
they
none of
gonna-
us have seen 2.2. Richard, what would you say about that?
well, I think I saw your video on it, Board Gamer, actually.
You saw my video. What video? One by video on what?
Oh no, we were just
You
wondering
were
about
in
the advocacy in 2.2. Have they included that yet, or is it local Crusader security?
Yeah, it's still local security from Crusader, which are basically hired thugs anyway.
With a badge.
Yeah, well, they pretty much are, aren't they? They're just they're private security. Just dudes in ships. They ain't got no authority.
Awesome. The red which is the search and rescue variant. We don't actually have search and rescue in yet, but it's probably going to have something like one of those beacon scanners. So I know we have at the moment in the P2 you can do missions to go and search for distress beacons. But obviously with search and rescue, I think it's going to be a bit more complex. Richard, how is search and rescue kind of going to work? Are there going to be beacons and special ships and all that kind of stuff?
They've talked about it a little bit.
Yeah.
So they've talked about that possibly when a player ejects from their ship, that you'll then have a mission to be able to go and pick them up. The player would have long since respawned somewhere else, but it will generate a search and rescue mission for them.
Okay.
That you can go and collect them. There might be disasters where hospital ships like the Endeavour, which will have multiple, which can have multiple Cutlass Reds in there, will be dispatched out to go and pick up people that have just exploded out of an Idris. And based on how quickly you do that, more crew might survive and you get more money from bringing them back to your hospital ship. We don't know exactly how the search and rescue stuff's going to work properly yet. Because I don't think CIG know. It'll be
so
all based on
Rory, you
mechanics.
caught that about exploding outside of an Idris, right? You caught all that bit, right?
Yeah. I think. Oh shit! I think that's basically going to be every time I leave the hangar. Then.
He gets 3 feet from the hangar.
So your search and rescue ship, as it may be, what could be a visibility for it is maybe bringing it with you on a carrier, so that when you go into these battle areas, you've got kind of the medic going around on the field to go pick them up. Then maybe.
I mean, yeah. So I see lots of different ways you can use that. Yeah. So you'll be able to help teammates bring them back into your ship. You can use them as drop ships, so that you can literally have a medi base when you're on a space station. So you're assaulting a space station. Assault it in a Cutlass Red. Why not? I mean, you can bring people back to your medical station and heal them. Much more effectively than you would be able to in the field. It could also make really good boarding ship. I mean, they've got those docking collars. People aren't going to see them as threatening. They might even let you on board if you're going to heal them.
Yeah.
I like it.
Zeus has made a comment, and I think this is a fair comment to make. Does anyone know what the hell the Cutlass wants to be?
The Cutlass Black is just it got so confused. They promised it was going to do everything, and then when it can't do everything, oh dear.
People get mad.
Tailor it.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is fair enough because it was a $100 ship that they promised could do everything, and they did. That's one of the gripes I had with CIG. They got confused. There was a lack of communication within the departments, and they kind of seeing it doing a little bit of everything and didn't communicate it properly to us.
Do you think that's maybe why when ships... I know there was some controversy over the Sabre recently because it didn't have gimbaled weapons or something like that. Do you think maybe it's the lack of communication from CIG when it comes to things like this, which just creates the controversy around stuff like this?
I mean, yeah, so the stuff with the Sabre, I mean, there was the issues with the stealth, which is more of a controversy because Ben said, and it's Genesis when people bought a lot of them, and Chris said that it was going to be more stealthy. It was going to be a stealth ship.
Yeah.
It was built from the ground upwards to be a stealth ship. I think they use those words.
Yeah.
So when they say, it's not
okay.
that, that's like a fundamental change.
Yeah.
That stuff with balance and gimbals and extra guns, if a ship doesn't have as many guns as I expect, that's not so much of an issue. That can be changed with balance. But when they're going, well, this isn't actually the role of the ship like they did with the Cutlass. They went, well, it's supposed to be able to multitask everything. Well, it's not going to do that anymore. It's not a fighter anymore at all. It's a utility ship or whatever. Or it supports other ships. It's just like, well, that's a fundamental change after I've bought it, which is annoying because I want to know that earlier in the process if you're going to be big changes like that to things that I've bought.
Like the Idris, I guess. Although that was kind of more of an upgrade than a downgrade, wasn't it? But a lot of people, obviously, when they first bought the Idris, it was going to be a corvette, but now it's a frigate. So,
but they have been very open and continuously updated us on that as the processes went through. It felt like with the Cutlass, it came to a head, so they had to do something. Yeah. With the Idris, it's very much it's getting bigger, guys. It's getting bigger. It's big. It's really big.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess we're kind of on the top. We kind of just think that the Black is going to be just a militia ship, I guess. Then, just in general, nothing particularly special. What do you guys? Christopher? What do you think?
Well, like you said, I mean, it's kind of in no man's land right now.
Mm.
It, you know, what does it do that's particularly good? What is it designed to do?
Yeah.
I think that's a lot of the problem there, and you hit it on the head with what is it?
Yeah,
It's
it
a
doesn't
ship.
know what it wants to be.
Yeah,
Now, though, I expect it to be a utility ship, maybe a little bit for scavenging, supporting other ships in a fleet. It's not a dogfighter anymore. It's not really a fighter anymore. It is a multi-role ship, but more supporty, I think now.
Well, what
I
if
think
we...
it'd be a
Oh,
good
sorry,
ship
go
to
ahead,
start
Aaron.
off on. Go on.
Yeah,
I think it'd be a good ship to start off on, so that people can kind of find their feet and find where they want to go with the game. But it's probably on the expensive side for that, which is a shame.
I agree with Oakley there. It's more on the expensive side, but it's still kind of got that. You can do a couple of different things with it. For one, it's a very agile ship. We'll go into talking about that a little bit later. But I got to, like I said earlier in the beginning of the podcast, I got to try it out in the Vandal Swarm. It doesn't have a lot of firepower per se. Being a single player in the Vandal Swarm, maybe if you had somebody in the turrets as well, it would help out. But even still, it was a very sturdy ship. I think I made it to a wave 16 on the first ship, and I was getting beat up all over. But as soon as you hit that afterburner there, and you want to roll or do whatever, you are going that way faster than you thought you were going to be going. So it's a pretty agile ship. I think the tractor beam is going to be something cool that they put into the ship, so you can pull stuff into the cargo hole. But it's very much a multi-role at the moment.
On the turret side of things, it is only a size 1 turret in there. If you weren't, I don't think that would help you too much, other than to stop things from following you too much. But and again, against NPCs, no one.
You say a size 1 turret.
Shot.
You say a size 1 turret. All the
size
item
1
system.
manned turret.
Yeah, so that would mean that the mount is size 5. 2 size 1 weapons.
Is it?
Two
Yes.
size 1 weapons, then the gimbal, and then the person.
Yeah,
Do it
yeah. That'd be it. Yeah.
4 or 5.
Yeah, because it says
But they are available though, so you will have to upgrade to that.
Yeah. I mean, the fixed mounts are pretty good. Size 3.
They are.
So they're definitely nothing to sniff at.
Well, you can put the flashfly mount on it, the size 4 flashfly mount.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, they can do some serious damage. I mean, if you let them get behind you. But another thing on this as well is it seems as though it can take a hit because it's a size 4 shield.
I can definitely vouch for that. It will take a hit. It'll take quite a few hits, and even if they take out one of your engines, you still got another one.
So it's nothing like a retaliator at the moment, then. In terms of survivability.
I haven't had the chance to try that out. So one of the other ships I have, you guys very well know, is the 325i, which is a lot of fun, but in terms of survivability, you gotta kind of be nimble there.
yeah. It's not meant to hold out in combat.
No.
Unfortunately, the difficulty with that ship is that to be nimble and to survive combat, you need to have a lot of thrusters and a lot of maneuverability.
Just does
But
not have that.
unfortunately, it's got a lot of engines and it goes very bloody quick. But it doesn't move at all. It shifts forwards very quickly, but doesn't go sideways anywhere at all.
You really
I
gotta
mean,
think
for
about the
survivability, trying to get out of the way, I would say an M50 is probably far better. Though it has a bit even less weapons, I reckon you probably get further with an M50 than you would with a Origin Jump Works. To be honest, it's quite difficult to fly, and if you exactly, but the M50 I think would have the better survivability, even though it's designed really for racing, and that isn't.
So back onto the Cutlass anyway. Now moving on to the Cutlass Blue. Obviously, it says it is the police version. By the description, it says the Cutlass Blue adds missiles, a more aggressive engine, and Durasteel holding cells. So that means it can hold prisoners. holding prisoners in the game, do you think this is going to have much of an advantage? I mean, are there bounties that are going to be more expensive if you bring them back alive? I mean, is this a genuine career mode that you can take, just arresting bad guys?
I mean, absolutely, definitely. I mean, there's going to be specific missions which are bring this guy or this group back alive.
Yeah.
And there's advocacy tools as well, which were in the original LTI Cutlass Blues, which are handcuffs and a stun baton. So yeah, there are going to be proper bounty hunting missions that you need either the Avenger stasis pods for, or the blue for, or you're going to have to tie people to a radiator or something. I mean, I'm sure you're about to handcuff people to stuff. Yeah. Wow.
You know, sash them down to the hood of your car, right?
Yeah,
you know what? I think the
outside.
blue. Yeah, the blue really needs flashing blue and red lights.
Oh yes.
Oh my god, yeah.
Gotta make it.
Like those
That would
trainers
make
you
it-
used to have when you were younger. You'd stamp your feet and they flash blue and blue
A little
lights.
siren on it as well that goes
Yeah.
wee woo
Oh.
wee woo.
So
It's
we're
gonna be
likely
really
to get
childish.
missions that are for players and NPCs to go capture things or to be captured by things, and some of those missions will be you get a bonus if you bring them back alive, or you can only bring them back alive to get the money. So yeah, I think it's a totally viable career path.
Awesome.
I think the applications for that are going to be much better on land missions, because I think it's going to be quite difficult to board people, especially when you're trying to board someone and they know you have prison cells on board. It's kind of a bit of a giveaway. So I think landing in a city or something, and then stunning people and then dragging them back to your ship is going to be quite a big thing.
I'm arresting them, I promise.
I've got a question for Chris Roberts now. Can I stun aliens and bring them back into my ship?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Just run around with stun batons.
Yes.
Vandal.
Take that,
That would
Vandal.
actually be pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We could have fresh bacon all of the time.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Oh, and
Vandal
so many
bacon.
slaves to cook it properly.
Yeah, you can stun those little monkey things that we saw in the Constellation video.
Oh my god, yeah.
God, with a side of Thorshoe Grey. Oh my god.
Ah, it's making me hungry right now.
Yeah.
I need that alien
Delicious.
bacon in my life.
Are we going to make black pudding out of it as well?
Black pudding. Alien black pudding. Amazing.
Mm.
Would it be greenish or, I don't know, we
Make
got
it
the
out of
stereotypical
But yeah, anyway, the agility of the Cutlass is something that Icarus was talking about.
Yes.
How how agile is this thing? I mean, does it turn on a dime like we saw on the advert, or is this thing just a tank in space?
The advert is a lie. There's no female pilots, and the thing has shit agility.
Oh, Chris Roberts. That's it. It's all
Where are
vaporware.
the female pilots?
Vaporware. Yeah.
Just JPEGs. It's all JPEGs.
It was just a series of moving JPEGs, one after another.
Yep.
Oh,
So,
I think that it does have a lot of agility. It just depends how you use it. I've noticed that it does have that agility. Does it turn on a dime? No. The Origin is probably the best one that I've had do that. But it's still a lot of... I mean, as soon as you hit the afterburners and you try to go somewhere else, it's going.
Yeah, but when you run out of afterburner, when you run out of boost, what are you going to do then? You're gonna...
you can do that shuffle
true.
thing that you do when you're in the car and you try and go faster. You can just, shuffle
You've
in
got
your
to paint
seat.
it red. If you want a ship to go faster, just paint it red.
Yeah, there you go. Put
Make
stripes.
Cutlass red.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just think it's like a hippo on roller skates. If you're not using boost, you need to use that boost function. And so I will look at a ship's agility without using boost, without using afterburner. And I just don't think that in the current implementations, the Cutlass is agile enough. And obviously that's one of the things that it was being hammered for by lots of people. Because it shouldn't be a super agile ship that can do everything. But should be at least somewhat agile, especially because of the shape of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Cutlass
Oh,
make me
you
angry.
bring up a very good point.
So-
It doesn't have that much when you're not boosting.
Zeus is a great
Yeah.
reply for this, actually.
Yeah, paint jobs
Go.
for ships are going to be a thing. Maybe paint your Cutlass blue as a red and talk like you're a medic on comms until you have them where you want them.
I'm against murder.
Also, burn the Cutlass with fire.
Burn.
I guess that goes on to my next question, which is it value for money? I guess if you're burning it, not
We just
much.
don't know. We just don't know what it's going to be yet. It's a ship that we just the Cutlass black. We just don't know what the Frankenstein's monster's going to be.
Yeah.
Currently, I'd say I'd vote no, but I think in the future they will probably make it so that it is, or they will change the price.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's gonna
I
be
think they'll probably end up making it so that it's worth that, purely because of the fact that changing the price, people are going to get angry who have already bought it unless they give them a discount, which is then a lot of hassle. So they're probably going to make it so that it is worth that money.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza
From,
delivery.
from my perspective.
That's a good point actually. If they make it a lot better, they'll increase the price and let everyone that's got one still keep them. I mean that would probably make people happier.
Yeah.
I think that's the right thing to do long term.
Yeah, you make a
Pizza
lot of
delivery.
people much happier.
That's where
Pizza
you're
delivery
your
is the
space
best idea
pizzas.
I've ever heard.
The best thing to do is for CIG to communicate their ideas with ships to us directly and constantly, so it just stops stuff like this happening.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't need to be remade. It just the only reason it needs to be remade is because people just had the wrong idea about it because they think it could do everything and it just can't.
Well, if it was promised that it could do everything, then I guess it's no one's fault but CIG when that comes to that, really. So, yeah.
But
so.
in reality, they're allowed to make mistakes, and we've
Oh,
got to.
gotcha.
People have got to kind of take that on the chin and say, yeah, all right, mistake. Realize you've made the mistake, change the mistake, and correct it.
Yes.
And I mean, I've been on the forums. I've seen a few people getting really quite tizzy about it, and you kind of think, hang on, it is only alpha. They're trying to promise the world on that ship. It was quite obviously never going to happen. Let's be honest. What they promised was quite a lot. So you've got to, if you looked at it really logically, you could have kind of called it really. If you sat down and said, right, what's actually reasonable about this ship? Being to do everything is probably not one of those things. But then again, if you do have to trust the gaming company to say, oh yeah, we're going to do this. You've got to trust them to actually do that.
Oh yeah, I've
Especially
got
with
no
concept
doubt.
sales like this.
I've got no doubt that it's going to be fixed and it's going to be great. It's just the issue there is just the communication of that. It should have never got into a stage where it had to come to a head.
Yeah.
Where then they went, oh, we need to remake the ship and we need to bring another ship in. I mean, if they had just communicated more to us about that and they communicated between the department, they just need to lessen their mistakes with that. And I like having something to be annoyed at CIG about, because there's very few things I'm annoyed about, and it makes me look at least a little bit like I'm more impartial.
Yeah. I can't appear biased. I can't appear biased.
Of course I'm biased. I
do
really love the
totally
game.
agree with that.
Yeah.
It is good for them to have a mistake. This isn't a really big mistake, but it's
No.
big enough so that they won't make it again, which I think is fantastic. So that they can actually say, right, we're
But
going
they
to go
say-
back. We're going to change this. We're
It's-
not going to do this.
It's the little thing that CIG keep on doing with this though. They did it with Saber. They did it with the Giant Scouts just recently. They do that thing, and they need to get better at not doing it. They need to communicate as it happens and go, guys, is there anything that's changed with this? These are the tenets of this ship. These are the tenets of this mechanic. Has anything changed?
I
Fantastic,
think-
something's changed.
I think the
Boom.
reason why it's happening so much is because you've got a lot of shows which tell a lot of information. So you've got Around the Verse telling one thing, and then you've got Reverse the Verse telling another thing, and then you've got 10 for the developers, artists, writers, all this kind of other stuff, which sometimes people aren't as well informed as others, but sometimes they're obliged to answer questions which are asked on the show.
Yes,
and I think that is where the communication really kind of breaks up. But then again, you know, I'm glad they do all these shows, but I think sometimes there genuinely needs to be, when they're making these shows, they need to pick better questions for what the show's going to be about. I think.
Definitely. I mean, because you'll get like a question for Germark, who will be he would have worked on the first stage of a concept on a ship, and they'll ask him a question about the weapons of it, and he'll answer based on his original brief.
Yeah.
And that would have changed like 5 or 6 times by the time it's got to the other departments, and he will have no idea because he doesn't need to know how it's changed because he's not going to be working on it anymore. So I totally agree with that. Your point there. It's,
So do you think that there's a level of managing expectations that CIG, maybe not now, but we're getting wrong?
Very much so, yes.
Yeah,
And
because
it's with little things as well, just tiny things.
Yeah, and I also get the feelings that there were certain elements within the community that would get their hearts set on a ship doing a certain thing. Namely, a lot of it, I would say, was anything to do with killing a hornet. Was a big. I mean, I'm a hornet pilot. I also fly a saber, which I'm looking forward to and stuff like that. But I do notice that there is a general trend towards everybody hating the hornet.
Gotta kill a hornet.
You gotta kill a hornet. You gotta be able to, you know, I want something that'll kill that hornet. Or I would say it almost comes under the I win button. But
My interest has got 2 of them.
No, it doesn't, Rory.
It's not without a crew. There's also a couple comments. Yeah, there's a couple comments we got here as well, so I'm gonna go through them real quick.
Okay.
Zeus, wait until the Banu merchantman comes to life. The amount of people that would be disappointed in that ship will be epic. He also goes on.
I think people will really like that ship. It doesn't have to be balanced in a way that people think. It can just be amazing, good looking, and have loads of space inside. That they don't need to. It doesn't need to be balanced for combat. It doesn't need to be balanced for any other role other
It's
than
not
cargo.
a combat ship.
Yeah.
That's why.
He also
Well,
says there's no way
they
that
have-
ship can be all when he's saying that it will be.
I mean, it's supposed to have some
it's just according
reasonable
to
weapons.
Okay.
According to the law, it's supposed to be that Banu don't have a standing navy.
No.
They bring ships like the merchantman into military service. So presumably it must have the ability to upgrade its weapons and shields to
So-
a fairly high degree.
Well, it's got really good shields. It's a blockade runner, is the way I see it. It's got those big guns that come out, so they start retracted and they come out. So it doesn't bear weapons unless it has to. But it's going to have it's a sodding big ship. It's going to have big guns.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
also, I think I read something that there's no 2 that are alike either. I don't know about that, but I can remember reading that somewhere. I don't know where.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to reference
It will be in some form of Banu law because they're supposed to be handed down between Banu families. And
something like
valuable
that.
Possessions. Yeah.
Okay, so we got another comment from Kaiser Solo 76. There are a lot of ships with this issue. CIG just can't help themselves. And then to continue with that, Fidget 45. Once again, they just need to tell us.
Yeah.
I think that there definitely needs to be some sort of, or not that I'm saying that they're not doing it, but they definitely need to be open with us.
They're pretty open. It's just that
I'm not saying they aren't. I'm just, I feel like a lot of people feel like they're not as open as they want them to be. I think it's more of the right words to put out there, I guess.
I think when it comes to PR, which is an incredibly important thing for a game like Star Citizen, one of the first rules of PR is you don't want to play anything that you're marketing down. You only ever want to talk about the good things, because as soon as you talk about the bad things, you're not really marketing it properly. So when you're making a ship, you're going, this ship can do this, 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 this. And sometimes, obviously, you're going to say things that maybe aren't 100% true. And people will take that as written word. But I think, obviously, that's something that they need to address. But
I just have to comment something right now. As the afternoon has gone by, Icarus has gone from we could see his face to now he looks like somebody on 60 Minutes who's like in hiding. You know?
He's gonna go turn on the light. There
He's
you go.
gonna be like that guy.
Hey,
in
look,
XCOM.
I'm lit again.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright,
So
we're
Gonna
gonna
I'm-
disguise his voice.
Yeah.
Zeus
For
does
anybody
have a
Let's all
comment.
get lit.
Yeah, Zeus does have a comment. Goes on. Banu Merchantman is supposed to be fast enough to be a blockade runner. It has to have huge firepower. It has to be built like a damn tank, and you have to be able to have a market on board.
Well,
One, if not more, of these promises will not be implemented.
it's got to be like a tank because it has to protect the stuff it has on board, aka all of the really expensive Banu stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
I actually think that the Banu will make all of those promises. I think that, and Zeus and Noxio has described it, I think it will be that.
Do you think it'll be the
Just
speed?
don't expect manoeuvrability.
I think it might lose a little bit of speed. Yeah, it's going to have no manoeuvrability. It shouldn't have manoeuvrability.
No, it's a huge. It's
Oh,
huge.
come on, it was supposed to be a turning fighter. I wanted to take on M50s with it while selling rare and imported cigars.
Also, the tracking on it is going to be awful. It's just going to, I reckon it's going to have a load of really big guns, and then that's going to be it, pretty much.
it
Does it
probably
carry
have
fighters?
No, it has a combination of anti-fighter weapons and one big turret, I think. So it's going to be able to take out a couple of fighters if they attack it.
Okay, Zeus, why would you have any other ship other than that? And super serious. It will be fast, just like they promised the Constellation would be fast. I think there's a little sarcasm in that last one.
I think the
Might be
salt.
some
Just a little.
sarcasm.
Maybe some salt. Blimey. Okay, so I love how we were meant to be talking about the Drake, and we're now talking about the Banu Merchantman.
Well, this is going on. This is good conversation. It's
no,
progress.
it's a good conversation.
Yeah, we're still on ships.
So, yes, the Cutlass series, I think in just general, it will be fixed soon, TM. But just for now, I think they're focusing more on the PTU rather than ship balance. I mean, they are implementing different builds every time, but for now it's mostly focusing on the PTU rather than ship balance. But it will get fixed because enough people have made some noise about it.
Wow. Harrison froze up for a second there, and his chin looked absolutely massive. He's
Thing is,
looked
I
like
see.
random-
looked like
I did a
Shaggy
random-
from Scooby Doo there for a minute, you know.
Oh, my hero, man. My hero.
You're
Right.
One, he
right.
can talk to dogs. Two, he gets high all the time.
Oh, Raggy.
What? Sweets.
Okay, so we're going to move on to the next part, and I think this is Monty. This is where Monty.
Oh, are we actually bothering with this?
Do you want to plug
gotta
yourself?
Get a crew, man.
You
You know,
need
it's-
this.
You
This
need to
is
plug
an
yourself.
This is
Very well.
you're looking into the camera and recruiting crew time.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Now,
keeping-
this is what you call shameless plugging with Monty. The first time I said on the agenda, if you're looking to conquer an Idris, then please find me on Facebook. Rory Morrison, spelt funnily, I'm sure. If you try for a few days, you'll find it.
It's part of the
Just
entrance
look
exam.
for
It's-
Yeah, it's his entrance exam.
You've got to find him.
And secondly, I'm going to be shamelessly putting forward the fact that I'm trying to sell some spaceships. So if you're looking for an LTI Orion, Carrack, Gladiator, ships like that, I have them at fairly reasonable prices. And people seem to be happy enough with what they've bought. Chris, read out the bloody review.
Thanks so much. She's a beauty in the hangar. Icarus, read the next one.
I would certainly buy from you again. I don't know many in the game yet, but if I hear of anyone after a ship, I will definitely pass them your info.
Oakley.
Wherever your first travels take you, I wish you well.
Are these actual reviews? Like,
Very-
are these
Yeah.
actual reviews?
100%.
Yeah, this is something somebody
You could have
emailed me.
you could have made up better ones. It's like, oh, after buying
That's
one
how
of
you
your
know they're
shits,
real, right?
I got all of the girls. Oh, it was such a decent magnet. I mean, you could have had stuff like
It's
that.
like Niagara Falls on the ship they bought.
And I really think you need to read the next line in accent.
Alright. Go on, Monty.
Remember, my lads, for Lulu Poison a reliable service, think Monty's used starships. Ooh-ar.
Yes.
Fantastic.
This is happening. And on this note, everyone, thank you for tuning in to the Reservist podcast on this fine day.
Anything you want to send us out on, Richard?
I have no idea what's happening anymore.
We don't.
Before we cut loose, thank you, Richard, for taking the time out of your day to talk with
No
us.
worries
and-
at
Yeah,
all.
thank you very much.
I want to build bridges with as many communities as I can. We're all in it together with Star Citizen, and I think we've got a great community. And stuff like this, your podcast that you're doing, you trying to get other people actively involved, is all awesome.
Thank
And
you
it's
very much.
thoroughly enjoyable having you along. Good,
It was great having
funny
you on.
time.
No worries, dude.
Absolutely.
One last question. We have a ship of the week every week, and as our guest, you have the privilege to tell us what will be our ship of the week next week. Next week's ship needs to be military, and so far we've covered the Gladiator, the Retaliator, and the Gladius, I believe. So any other ship apart from
And the Redeemer, it was shit.
the Redeemer.
It has to be. Oh, are you allowed to do ships like the Idris M?
Yeah.
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 Oh, great. Then the Starfarer Gemini.
Yes.
Gemini action this is.
So the Starfarer Gemini. Okay, brilliant. Well, that is our ship of the week. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We are on every Saturday at 2100 GMT. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.